Okay, divine twin flames. Welcome to my first reading. I'm going to start over. I videoed a little intro. That's the first video, and then this is the first full reading. I have been sort of annoyed in the past by like all the shuffling, and I get it because people feel like, oh, well, you could, orchestrate it to come out a certain way. I don't have time to do that, and I don't think any of us do. It is absolutely incredible, when you're a reader, when you read cards, tarot cards, what comes out. And it's so timely. It is just incredible. So, Spirit writes it much better than I can. So, I need you guys to trust that I basically took these 3 decks, spread them all out, and what I do is I kind of use my fingers to feel which one's pulling. So I don't just like shuffle and one flies out. I do have my process, and it's what has always worked for me, and it's so accurate with clients. So I'm not going to mess with my process. So if this doesn't work for you, again, you don't have to watch. But I do think that I've got the skills, and I know that I'm super intuitive. So if you want to keep watching, subscribe and like and comment, because I need to get seen by other people so that we can help lots of people, right? So okay. So first things first. Again, oops, sorry. Divine masculine. Where is he now? That's the first thing we're gonna ask. Where is he at? And these are the first 3 cards that pulled. He is totally in his passion for the divine feminine. I also feel like he's in passion for creativity, because he was on the hamster wheel, just going into work, trying to make the money, get the cheese, and he was just running. It's like divine showed him he needed to jump off of that hamster wheel, but he wasn't doing it. So I think that's where a lot of us were. We weren't jumping off on our own. So this whole coronavirus thing has literally put us almost on house arrest, where all we have to do is go within and really look into who we are, where we're at. Are we happy with what we're doing? And let's try to create and think about where we want to go after this thing is over. Do we want to travel? Do we want to get into a new career? And a lot's coming through my head right now. So Spirit's telling me like some of these divine masculines are really going to jump the boat. Either they've been laid off, or they are going to choose to get on a new career. But I do think that some of them are playing the guitar and singing and doing certain things now, which taps into their passions. But this also shows me they're really passionate about the divine feminine. I feel like the divine feminine is really shining during this time. So they're noticing, yeah, I've always known that she's my one. And it's frustrating for them, because before, it's like you were handing them the cup of the 4 of Cups and they weren't taking it. You were trying to say, hey, look, I'm here. This business opportunity is here. Like, let's do something together. And they were kind of like, let me, I want it when I want it. I don't want it when you tell me I should want it. So I feel like they are a little disappointed with not jumping on it when they could have. So now that they can't actually get to you, they want you so bad. I feel so much sexual energy right now. They're just like, they want to just grab you and hold you and kiss you. They want to throw you up against a wall. And that's always nice. So they have passion. They're also doing things by the book. So the first thing I thought about here was, just like these little elephants, they are following the rules. They're following the rules. They're staying inside, which means I'm getting that most of them are alone. Most of them are not with the karmic. That's not everybody. Majority of the people I'm going to read for are the people who, it's like the energies are in alignment already. Like they know that the divine feminine is the divine feminine, and the divine masculine is the divine masculine, but they've not taken action on it for whatever reason, whether it's fears, or they're in a different state right now, or a different job, which doesn't allow for that. But what this has created is so much passion to get to you that as soon as they're finished following the rules, they're ready to go. because they're also looking at spiritual wonders. There's a part of them that's felt like you are more spiritually advanced, which you are. You're the spiritual leader in this until they can come in as the true divine masculine and they take over the lead a little bit. It's sort of equal. But right now, you're the one that's supposed to be sort of enlightening them. Whether it's posts on social media that help raise consciousness, you're the reason why they have evolved thus far. You're really their beacon, their shining light. And I think what they're doing is reading some spiritual books. I just got earlier, in the other reading at the end here when I pulled this card, they're reading spiritual books. So if you're like, oh, I'm re-listening on Audible to Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav, they might just go buy that book right away, and start listening to it. So they want to know what you know. So if you could share and feel out what resonates for you, but if you could share spiritual books or, a poem or a certain way of doing things that's raising their consciousness, they would love that. But I think they're trying to brush up so that they too can be at your level. And when they come back, discuss some of these ideas, because for the longest time, they felt like they were just a bump on the log and you were like this divine queen of wisdom and wonder and mystery. And so they're brushing up. Okay, so that's what they're doing right now. They're at home, brushing up, and they're totally sexually feeling you. Okay, so now we've got how the DM is relating to the divine feminine. How is he relating? Oh, free yourself. This is one of my favorite cards. It's time to take back control of your life. So I think he's been the unicorn stuck in this pen. It's a prison of his own making. And I think he's just now realizing that, and that he can jump out of it. And he has the power to jump out. So he's trying to basically show you or communicate in whatever ways that he is empowered and he's going to do this. He's coming to you. He's going to jump out of his prison. He realizes that this is a prison and he's going to do it. So even if he hasn't contacted you, look at what he's saying on social media or just know that this is where he's at. He's ready to take his life back, and he wants you to know that because he's scared that you're going to leave him. He also wants you to know that he is secure. Pardon my nails, by the way, coronavirus nails. He's fully secure. He, even if he has had trouble with money in the past or secure jobs, he's feeling pretty secure right now that no matter what, whether he's jobless or not, he has enough money in the bank to start anew with you. I feel right away that he knows that when he comes together with you, you guys create this spark and you guys are going to be so much more secure than he could ever be on his own. He's aware of that now. That's cool. And I feel like security, he's also secure in who he is. For the longest time, he didn't love himself. He's starting to get his self-worth. He's starting to feel empowered and that, no, this is my life and I'm not going to listen to these people who want me to work here or these people who don't want me to date my feminine or whatever it is. He's like, I'm secure in who I am and I'm going to do what I want to do. I love that. Deep knowing. See, he has this deep knowing. He's trying to share with you that he's got the money, he's got the goods, he's got the creativity, he's got the security, and he's also trying to share that he has this deep knowing that it is you. That his divine feminine is his true soulmate, his true twin flame. He might not know the twin terminology, but his divine feminine, he knows at the bottom of his soul that this is something bigger and there's no way he's going to walk away. He knows it's so strong right now. So he's trying to figure out what he's going to do, but he also wants to sort of let you know, no, I know, maybe without coming forward because he doesn't quite know how to do that yet. So obviously pay attention to social media, but yeah, he could call you or text you and just be like, hey, how are you? Just to, because it is kind of a tough time. And I think if he hasn't said something already, he feels kind of bad because he wants to be communicating with you. so that he knows that you're his shining light, that he loves you, that he's there for you. But he does have a deep knowing about y'all's bond, which is amazing. So how does he see the divine feminine? He sees her right now, rocking and rolling, focused on her finances, finances and career, okay? And that, oh, yeah, because of the coronavirus, I think he's worried that you don't have work. So maybe you said it on Facebook or Twitter or something like that you're applying for unemployment, or that you lost your job, or you're starting a new revenue stream. But he's sort of worried about you not having enough and wants to be there to help you. But he also knows that you're probably good on your own, that you've got this, and you might not need his help. It's almost like he kind of wants you to need his help. But you're definitely looking at different ways to make money. I think he totally sees you as somebody who's on your career, on your finances, and possibly at this time looking for other ways to make it. Now this card, to the sea, this card to me is that you're really on a journey. So the way he sees you is you're on this like inner spiritual journey. You're not really caring about what he's doing right now. You're doing your thing. You're doing this thing, and you're in the flow, okay? You're in your own creative flow. You're not sad. For the longest time, you were like sad in the journey, but now I feel like he knows that you're secure. You could be out to sea all by yourself, but God is still there, and he knows with God, you can do anything. You can do anything. And how he sees you is, yep, makes sense. You're in solitude right now. So I don't think he thinks that you are quarantining with another person or sleeping with another person right now. I do think that he feels that you are alone, whether that's true or not. Okay. And again, not everything's going to resonate with everybody, but take what you will. All right. What does the DM want from the DF? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you, but I've seen our children in my dreams. I've got a really great story I can tell you at some point. I'm just going to tell you now. So I had a dream where there was a little boy, and I'd never seen a little baby that looked like this baby, right? He was cute, but like I'd never seen a child look like that child. And I woke up and my divine masculine was there. We were at his house. There was something going on. But then the next day I wake up and it was in the next few days. It was his birthday, and his sister had posted a picture of him as a baby, and it looked just like the baby I saw in my dream, which is so weird because I'd never seen him as a child or a baby, and I'd never seen a baby that looked like that. And it was just so strange. But that and some of these other dreams about our baby, I mean, I really do think that I've got children, and I do feel it's a boy and a girl on the other side that are waiting to come in. It's almost like my cycles have slowed too, like gotten sort of strange. It's like they're waiting to just, have him fertilize the eggs and bring these kids into manifestation. But he sees that in what he wants from this relationship, one of the first things he wants is children. He wants to have children with his divine feminine. Oh, and he sees, I don't really read reversals unless I feel led, but it could be, he sees that you're soulmates and he wants you to be in love. But it could be too that he kind of, what he wants is soulmates, but he sees that like it's upside down right now. It's like there's blocks and delays, and it might never happen, but he knows it's going to happen. He sees and he wants this from her. He wants this from her. And when I say he and she, it's the divine masculine energy, the divine feminine energy. So take it how you will. Taking risk. He wants to take a risk. I wouldn't doubt it if he says, I want to jump on a plane. I don't care if I get the coronavirus. I want to come to you. I want to come to you. I'm ready to take a risk. And this is awesome, guys. This is such a good thing because for so long they did not have the courage. And he wants to take a risk. He knows that the risk could be that you go, you know what? Too little, too late. It's just been too long. I'm just over you. You've let me hang out to dry so long that I just have resentment and I just can't get over it. And he's scared. But he's willing to take the risk because he knows that love, true soulmate love, is worth the risk. I'm about to cry. It's so sweet. And that he's not going to have his children unless he takes the risk. It's freaking awesome. I love it. Okay. So next we have, what is the DM's block? The DM's block. Oh, he doesn't know how to handle his feelings. For the longest time, he didn't feel anything. He didn't, like he thought love, you know, in 7th grade, he had this feeling towards a girl and he hadn't felt that in so long. He slept with plenty of people. He's dated plenty, but he's never really felt the feelings, you know, until he realized he's been feeling these feelings for you this whole time. He's just been so scared of them because they're so intense. And it's like, if he follows them and he lets himself love and you left him or you died, you would destroy him. You would destroy him. But like we said, he's ready to take the risk. But this is one of the things that's blocking him, is that he still wants to explore these feelings, but he doesn't know how. He doesn't know how to handle these feelings. His father didn't teach him how to handle emotions. Society didn't teach him. So that's a challenge, is expressing his romantic feelings, okay? And just handling them. Like even some guys, they're still in denial of them. Some of the divine masculines. What else do we have? Okay. So one of the other blocks is knowing that the best, highest version of what could work out between the divine masculine and feminine is a land of milk and honey. But he feels such responsibility to bring that in. He knows that he can help bring her abundance and they can have this magical life together, but he doesn't know how to do that either. It's like everything that he's been doing lately has been failing and messing up because he's supposed to be here, aligned here where things can flourish. So God's making everything else fall to pieces, but he's like, if I can't figure any of this out, who's to say that if I get with her, I can create this land of milk and honey? He feels like her ideals and expectations of what he can do for her or whatever, he might not be able to live up to it. It's scary. It's scary to feel confident that you can create this land of milk and honey. That's what he's a little afraid of. And he's also, makes sense, the other block to union is courage. What did I just say? He hasn't had the courage. He's trying to muster up the courage. He's trying to say, look, I need to stop distracting myself with all these distractions and just get a game plan together of what I'm going to do, how I'm going to come forward. Right now we're blocked and I can play video games, but I don't want to just play video games. I want to feel out what I can do to prep for our union. Maybe he's looking at houses. Maybe he's looking at new jobs. Maybe he's buying you a gift. He's trying, though, to feel out how he can come forward and say what he needs to say. He might be in the old school mentality of like, oh, let me just pretend it doesn't exist. Like, hey, how are you? Or he might gallantly come forward and say, look, we need to talk. You know, I want to talk in person. Or he could send you music to just let you know how he feels. But he's trying to muster up the courage to do this reunion justice. And I think he's kind of worried that maybe he won't be able to do it justice, but he will. He has the ability. So he's got feelings. He's getting his courage. He's tapping into his feelings. And he's going to figure out how to have the confidence to bring in the land of milk and honey. That's nice. I love it. Okay. What's next? The DM's advice. I'm trying not to be on camera. Hopefully I'm not. The DM's advice that he's going to receive. Now, what this is advice that he's going to receive from spirit, from dreams, from an outside source. It could be a myriad of things. So, ooh, I just got one of his friends like, dude, you're wearing a mask. Like, you love her. You know you love her, but yet she doesn't know. You've got to take off the mask. You've got to come clean. You're in denial, and she has no idea, so she could go sleep with another dude. She could totally, like, she's amazing. Somebody's going to snatch her up. You've got to take off your mask. This is the advice he's receiving. Take off the mask. Express how you feel, because nothing's going to happen if you don't come clean. Hello? Yang. Be in the yang energy, the masculine energy. The masculine energy of yang here, Kala, it says, is action. Excuse me. Throat chakra. Action. And I think I'm getting a throat thing because he knows he needs to speak. He needs to take action by calling you or saying, hey, I definitely have time for that meeting. Like, let's catch up. Hey, let's do a Zoom. Hey, you know, he needs to speak up and take action. And that's what his friends, family, God is going to be doing. God is going to give him a dream where he says, hey, I need to speak my truth to you right away, or we're going to ruin our life. So we need to do this. Like, something's going to happen where he's going to receive advice that he needs to take action, and like now, like it's urgent. I don't know about you, but I'm a divine feminine, and if I'm coming out of quarantine without any contact, I don't know. I mean, I'm not resentful anymore. I know that everything has divine timing, but if we're like so disconnected throughout all this, he doesn't make any effort, or doesn't like, what mine usually does is shows me things online, like he'll post certain things that I resonate with and he knows it, or he's also sort of a celebrity and he's been in interviews and said things that we talked about, and I always take it as a nod to me. So he hasn't been doing that lately. I think we've all been kind of distracted with just survival. But he's going to be getting the advice that he needs to take action before, because, you know, if things are lifted, there's going to be a lot of guys wanting to hook up with me, right? There's going to be a lot of guys wanting to take you out or take you on a trip or whatever. So he needs to take action before those other guys get it. Ooh, openness. So he's getting the divine message and advice to be open, to open your heart to me, to open your heart. You've had all these walls up, and the thing is, your walls are up because of other people and how they've treated you, but those weren't your divine feminine. Those were lessons. You've got to open up, or your divine feminine and you are never going to come together. He knows he has to open up, but the advice to open up, take action, take off this mask, tell her how you feel, that's going to be so crucial for him. And I get this feeling that he is going to follow the advice. Let's see. Okay. Is he going to follow it? He's going to follow it. Are there any divine masculines that are not going to follow it? Yeah. Are all going to come into union, though. Ooh, okay. So he might not follow it right away, but eventually he's going to take action. So if you want to sit there and do nothing, that might be the right choice for you. Okay. I don't want to be on camera. Okay. The reason I don't is I work with scientists and big money and so many people who are left brain. So if they knew I was doing this right brain stuff, they would think I was a Looney Tune, right? So I am a psychic medium who just happens to have a really good business sense and my feet on the ground. So this is God, fate, destiny, truth. Like, between the two of you and your connection, what this really is and what this journey is all about is, number one, knowing that you deserve love. You are lovable. You are worthy of love. It doesn't matter if your dad did not tell you you were lovable, or your mom, or maybe your friends were jealous, or they, nobody's ever said, hey, you're so freaking awesome. I just love you. Everything about you is so amazing. Maybe people's egos were too big to tell you that. But it's true. You're amazing. You're spiritual and you're divine. And, When you are so divine, there are a lot of jealous people. But you deserve love. And as soon as you believe that you deserve love, I bet you it's going to come in. As soon as you truly believe it. So if you want to take a minute to just, not right now, but get a piece of paper and write down all of the lovable qualities. I want you to see yourself through the eyes of your divine masculine or your divine feminine, depending on who's watching. And see yourself as all the amazing things that you are and all the amazing words that they're thinking about or sharing with their friends and family about you. And I want you to read it over and over again. Read it every day if you have to know that you are lovable and you deserve love and you are worthy of love. And as soon as you feel that self-worth, that you are powerful beyond measure and you are truly deserving of the most epic love that anybody's ever seen. Romeo and Juliet got nothing on you. Nothing. As soon as you believe that and you know that, then I bet you your divine masculine or your divine feminine is going to come right around. And you know what? This journey is about peace. It's about having peace in the unconditional love. Even if, sorry, this is not the best lighting. Even if you're not in contact, right? Whoops. So having peace in your heart that you are loved by him or her and that you can love them unconditionally. In other words, you don't have to be with them by your side right now. You don't have to be tied at the hip or have to be getting that text back right away. No matter what happens, you unconditionally love them and you have peace in your heart. And whatever's felt frustrating. I mean, I thought I was going crazy at one point with all the signs and synchronicities, but I knew because I'd gotten signs and synchronicities to a project. It was just the first time I was getting them to a person, and it freaked me out because I felt like, God, do I not have a choice in this? Isn't there free will? Don't I get to choose my destiny and my life partner? And it was like, sign. Like, no, you're supposed to build something with him. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? He's actually who I choose. And first of all, God knows better than we do, right? So what we can see on the surface, like he's a little bit of a player, or he's this or that, like that doesn't matter. Like the divine knows his heart. And I think why I love my divine masculine from the first moment I met him is because I saw his heart. I felt him, and I know we've had past lives together. I've done a past life regression. We have ties that go so deep, but him ignoring me for some of the time or choosing other women above me, and then getting in a big mess because of it, which was his lesson. But there were times where I did not have peace. But now I do feel like I have peace. It might be hard if I saw him like dating a new girl online or something, but I truly feel that he knows that I'm his and he's mine, and he wouldn't do that to me right now, even if he was with somebody else. And all of those things, if he's with somebody else, and that's somebody who's going to help him learn something or grow to a certain degree where we can come into union. So I need you to know that even if you're seeing things that don't look positive, there is a positive aspect to this, and it's going to bring you more peace and awareness and love in the long run, okay? You're going to have that peace. It's your destiny. Oh, I love that. Truth. So through this connection, you learn about love, you learn about peace, and you learn about truth. Speaking your truth, standing in your truth, being aligned to who you are, what you feel. I mean, I hid my feelings from him too, because I was scared he'd be like, oh, she's freaking crazy. She's a stalker. I'm going to run from her. He and I both were sort of running from each other at certain times, him more than me, because I would get the signs and then reach out because I felt like that's divine. I need to reach out. It's time. But maybe it wasn't time. It was just something that I needed to plant a seed so that he knows, so that he looks back and goes, wow, she's the only person who has supported me like this through everything. Everybody else has come and gone. But in the long run, this connection brings us closer to our personal truth and to be able to be truth in the relationship and in all relationships. It's so important. Truth is my middle name. I just love that I pulled that card for our divine mission, and what is it called? Our divine connection, basically. It's sort of like the fate of, and the truth. I even have truth on there. The truth of what our connection is. Okay, so the divine feminine. Sorry, here's my little light. I'm trying to give it a little more light. All right, so the divine feminine. Ooh, where's she at now? She's paying attention to the red flags. She's seeing that he's, especially online or whatever, that he's just not in the best space right now. He's posted things maybe about being bored or being like, getting bigger, just sort of some lower vibe stuff, because he's just in his junk. He's in his stuff. He's in his junk, which is normal, and it's good because you want them to clear out the junk before they come to you, right? So let them get all deep in their feelings. Let them cry. They haven't cried enough. They haven't sat still enough with themselves. But if you see some red flags, that means it's probably not the right timing. And I don't think it's the right timing for anybody, because we're in this quarantine for a reason. It's not coming together just yet. She's paying attention to the red flags in his energy. She's also realizing that, this is a really cool card, she's in the middle. She's not where she used to be, in the struggle, in the pain, in the crying, in the upset of back the past. And she's not quite in the future. She is literally suspended right here on this egg, in quarantine, in her house, ready for the future, hopeful for the future, but knowing that she has things to do here. She has to look at her mission and get on it. Even like me doing this channel, this is me getting more on my mission. If I'm not doing production work right now, I could be helping a lot of people with my self-discovery book, with my readings, with my, success consulting, business consulting, individual coaching. That's where what you need to be doing is, whether you're working with a coloring book or cooking and realizing, different meals that you can create for you and your masculine when he comes. There's so much that we could be doing to prep, but we're no longer in the past energies. I want you to get out of that frustration. I want you to get out of the being annoyed at him. Where we were, it's never going to be like that again. We're about to come out of this quarantine and blast off into our future. Okay, and I need you to believe that. I need you to believe it. But she's right there suspended. And while she's suspended, she's in her leadership. She's posting online. She's telling people what kind of workouts to do, what kind of food to eat, how to stay healthy, how to go within and tap into emotions that they can feel and deal and heal. She's sending signs and synchronicities to him in the 5D, in the ethers, through music, through flowers, through, he walks outside and sees something immediately that relates to you. But this leadership is very much in the 3D. He sees your leadership. And I'm just so proud of you guys. And if you haven't stepped into your leadership, I certainly think you are in some way. Even if you're just journaling at home, you're still being a leader. And it's not about telling people you're a leader, okay? You will be seen as a leader by just being one. You don't have to tell anybody you're trying to lead or be a leader of leaders or anything like that. Be humble, but lead with the power of everything that you are, because this globe needs it. We need you. And if you want to figure out ways to step into your leadership and to be more of a powerful light for other light workers out there, you just let me know, because I can help you. I want to help you. I want all of you guys to be so freaking powerful. I do say frickin', I'm from the South, so we try not to cuss. Yeah, I do cuss sometimes. Okay, so divine feminine relates to divine masculine. How is she relating to the divine masculine? she's basically trying to let him know that it's safe to love. In other words, she's not saying, screw you. She's kind of like, she might like a comment or, comment on one of his posts, like where it's lovey and not too much, but just enough where he knows that it's safe, that she's not holding a grudge, that he is forgiven. Okay, this is what she's trying to show to him in sort of subtle ways. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. It's safe for you to love, babe. Open your heart. It's okay. I know it's hard. Ooh, this is always an interesting card. So how she's relating to him too, there's a little bit of the round and round. Like, is this always going to continue? We're doing the same stuff. Like with me and mine, we do stuff online, okay? And, maybe like today you said something about having like a bigger quarantine body. And I said something about working out in my big long Instagram post. So he might see that I'm kind of communicating with him about stuff that he's communicating, or other people might be seeing that, which is sort of like the round and round cycles that we've had. So it might be good for me to sort of jump off that hamster wheel and just completely just stop with the energy back and forth. But in a way, I feel like when he sees that, it makes him so happy. Let me ask. When he sees how it does make him happy because he feels like he's relevant. If I cut off the connection completely, but I think the round and round, it's very much like, here's some energy between us. Now we don't feel it anymore. Here's some energy. Now we don't feel it. Like there's this round and round of what, are we ever going to get off this merry-go-round? And finally come together to just figure it all out and get to the bottom of it. So she's relating to him in a little bit of a round and round. So there's nothing real definitive. And I think because we're in quarantine, so it's very difficult to just reach out and be like, okay, great, let's go on a trip, or let's get together. You can't do that yet, so it's kind of sit back, but there's still that cycled energy, which we want to sort of shift the cycles. So I was thinking about with mine doing a voice recorded message that really shared with him how I felt and how I felt over all this time, because I've gotten in touch about work and some other things because I didn't want to address, but that's not me being a leader. I need to speak my truth and address, and then maybe he'll speak his. But every relationship's different. I mean, maybe it's the right time for me to do that and that will help him step forward. Or maybe he's so in his stuff right now that it's really not the best timing for me to give him much else to chew on because it'll create more anxiety, right? So each relationship is different. If you're having a feeling or getting it in dreams, or you keep having the same feeling to do something, whether it's voice recorded message or an email or a text or whatever, then do a little session with me. They're super discounted right now, and I can, with my pendulum, easily tap into y'all's energies and figure out what is the best path for you. I've got lots of clients who've just loved having me there to navigate and to figure out what to do, and it's been very successful, So we can get you guys in union. I think I wish I had somebody like me to help me with my stuff. It's always harder. Now, how she's relating to him, she's also showing that she's happy. She's not in the doldrums of like, oh, you're such a dickhead. Oh, you're ignoring me. I'm so victimized. No, she's happy whether you call or not. Like, whether you acknowledged her online or not, she's still in her happiness. And that's attractive. A guy wants to go to a girl who's freaking happy, not all like, no, he wants to like be excited. He wants to see how happy you are. So show him how happy you are. Show him how happy you are doing those at-home workouts. Show him how happy you are making your banana bread. Because when he gets with you and y'all are in union, y'all are going to be happy together. And you're going to get out of this round and round. And it is safe. It is safe for him to love and for you to love. Is it safe? Is it safe? Yeah, because he knows. He knows. Okay. All right. Excuse me. I don't want you to look at my armpit. Okay. So next one is divine feminine. How does she see him? Ooh, she sees that he's healing some family issues. So maybe these family issues are with his parents. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So she kind of sees him as still having to heal some family issues. It might be with sisters or brothers, or it could be a close friend, like, kind of like soul family, right? You know, he could have a friend who just likes him so much and is like, no, man, just be single with me. You don't need no girl, blah, 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 blah. So he needs to say to that person, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. If my heart is pulling me towards this person, I don't care if you like her or, I do feel like he has some friends around him that's like, kind of talk smack. Now, don't get all crazy and be like, who is it? Because this isn't for everyone, but it's sort of a friend who's like, oh, you just got out of something so crazy. Do you want to really jump back into something else crazy? Like assuming it's going to be the same. It's not going to be the same because you're the right person for him. And it'll be freaking magical. And that person's holding him back. But he's got to say, you know what? I forgive you for trying to hold me back, but you're not going to do it. And I think he's ready. I get this overwhelming feeling that he's ready. So how the divine feminine sees the divine masculine. There is a change in the wind. Oh, yes. Everything's going to be changed after this corona. So maybe he's like in a different state doing this job and he suddenly doesn't have that job. He's like, what am I doing? I'm going to move back to where my divine feminine is. That's where I belong. He's realizing that he's walked down a path that's not for him, and there's a change in the wind to get him back on path. That is clear. That is clear. And he's embracing it. He's staying still, but embracing where he's at. And the way she's seeing him is that he is sort of surrendering to all of it. No longer resisting the connection, no longer resisting being stubborn about or prideful about not contacting or where he's working or so-and-so said this. He's finally embracing all of it and starting to figure things out. And that's impressive. That's exciting. All right. So, what does the divine feminine want from the divine masculine? All right. Hang in there, guys. We're almost done. Ooh, I love it. Yes, she does. Does she not? Divine feminine wants a heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. She wants more than anything a heart-to-heart conversation. She'd rather have it in person, but she could do it on a Zoom or a FaceTime. Think about it, though. Think about if that's something you want to even ask for, or would you rather do it in person? Would you rather him come to you, or would you rather say, hey, can we get on a call? Because if he doesn't respond back to your text, it might just be because he wants to have this heart-to-heart conversation in person, which I really do feel. You might have felt that too. So maybe that's what you lead with. I'd really like to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you in person, but here's 10 minutes of me talking to this voice recorded message because I don't have anything else to do. Just sharing with you how I feel. Because I want you to know. Maybe that's what you do. But there needs to be two parties involved. That's what she really wants. She also wants to know that he is part of her tribe, that he is acknowledging the fact, yes, I do feel like we have a soul bond, past lives, whatever it is. Maybe he doesn't know the terminology, but he goes, you're part of the tribe. You're part of my tribe. And I want you to be there, whether it's friends or business partners or more. I want you as part of the tribe. Now, don't freak out with the whole friends thing, but I think at the basis of this relationship, because you both know that there's something much more magical and like romantic and sexual than just friends, but at the base of it, the foundation of it, you guys are best friends. You're tribe mates, and you're going to work together. And that's what you want him to acknowledge. And you want him to be in the flow. In other words, you want him to go with the flow of what you're bringing or what the universe is bringing, the signs, to understand it, and not be so resistant. It's like the universe sends you a miraculous sign, and you might send a text, and then he doesn't say anything back. And it's like, dude, just be in the flow. Be like, oh, that's interesting. But if he's not saying stuff back to like the signs, then maybe drop the signs and just be like, hey, how are you? I just want to check in on you. Maybe just call him. Freaking call him tonight. You know, hey, I heard you were bored. What's up? It's been a while. Start the conversation, see where it goes. Trust in the divine flow. That if you take action or if he takes action, now it doesn't, forget all the, in relationships, it's the man that needs to take the lead and chase her. The woman can't do it. Twin flame relationships are different than typical relationship advice. Yes, the masculine energy usually takes the lead. But in twin flame relationships, it's often the feminine that takes the lead. Does it really matter who makes the first move if you guys are talking on the phone and coming into union? It doesn't. You can't mess it up when it's really your true twin. I'm not saying all of you guys are here because you are fully twin flames. It could be a soulmate thing. It could be that this is part of your work, or you're with a false twin right now and you are a twin and that's why you discovered this. I do believe we're led to what we need to see. So whoever you're thinking about right now, whether it's a twin or not, this is the card reading for you too. But the divine flow is what you both need to get in. And he's been resisting. You might be resisting a little bit, but trust that divine flow. So if you get a major sign, I want you to maybe do something right then, not 2 weeks later. I made that mistake several times. If you feel the energy on seeing an Instagram post and you really feel like commenting something, you don't be in resistance going, no, well, he hasn't reached out, I'm not going to. I mean, these are the kind of things I use my pendulum, but I'll be like, oh, okay, like I'm really feeling like I want to I comment this funny thing, and my pendulum will be like, yes. It very rarely says no, because you can't mess it up. Energy's energy. So when the divine brings that flow of energy, or he does, interact with it. That strengthens your bond. If you ignore each other out of stubbornness and pride, you're never going to come into union. Get in the flow. And hopefully he's going to join the flow and be part of your tribe. And you'll have this heart-to-heart conversation. That's what you really want. So, what is the divine feminine's blocks? Wow. Okay. Is that a block? All right. I see why it's a block now. It's a block because you know it's true love. You know it's epic, divine love, and you want it to be magical. You don't want to mess it up. You don't want it to be average where you're just like, hi, how are you? And he's like, fine. I guess we'll talk soon. No, you want him to be gallant. You want to be gallant. If you express your love, don't just be like, well, I kind of sort of like you. Be gallant. Again, you can't mess it up. But be honest to you. If you feel like it's true love, maybe you should say, hey, I think this could be true love. I think you could be the father of my children. Again, everybody's different. Don't just take that advice unless it really, really resonates with you. But the blocks here is that you know it's such true love and you know it's coming, and yet you're frustrated. Like, when is it coming? Or how can I live up to it? How can I make this come in? Instead of just going with the flow, you're trying to kind of control it. You're trying to control this true love, and it's something that's sort of like you fear it. You fear that you're not going to be enough, or that you've missed it. You've missed out on this true love. There's because it's so intense and so amazing, you've put all this weight on the connection and on his shoulders and on your shoulders. So you kind of both feel like, we don't want to mess it up. But this is a romance of a lifetime. And you're going to figure out how to balance the energies, okay? But how about know that maybe this separation right now with the coronavirus is just enough for you guys both to rebalance the energies so that you can take the intensity off of the true love and just be a little more casual, and then things come in. The blocks too are the whys. Why do I love him? If he asks me, why do I love him? Do I even know the answer? Come up on the other side of your list of all the great things about you. Come up with all the great things about him. I love mine because he's so funny and he's creative and he sings and dances, which I do, and I love it. And he's in production like me. We're both in creative fields, and he's really smart and he's really relatable. Come up with all of the reasons why you love them, because it could be a block if you feel like it's just so divine. That's the only reason why. It's just because of the divine. No, I mean, there's other reasons about him. Yes, that might be the top reason because of the signs and the synchronicities, and it's so divine, and I just know the divine wants us to come together for our mission. But really consider why you want to be with him while you've got this time. And of course, the blocks to union is that we're in a standstill. We can't really do much right now except for look at why we love each other, and let's turn down the intensity and just like give it to God and stop trying to control. And eventually we're going to get out of this standstill. Okay? We're going to get out of it. All right. And what is the advice for the divine feminine? Okay, this is one of my favorites. Oh, hopefully I'm not in that. The advice for the divine feminine here. Okay. Well, great. Trust. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Yep. Cupid is still working hard, even with coronavirus, to get you guys together. Cupid's just going to stab you right in the back when you're talking to him, and then stab him in the back too and go, yeah, y'all know. You both know, you both need to have faith. But the advice for the divine feminine is to get out of the doubt, to imprint trust. Anytime you feel fear or anxiety or like, this isn't ever going to come together, which is very much what we can feel right now, because it feels like the never ending, like we are a prisoner in our own house. We're on house arrest, and there's plenty we can do creatively. Just get up and take a shower and eat well and, watch some morning show or whatever. But, create, work out. But anytime you feel fear in this relationship, I need you to immediately find trust, because fear is going to bring more fear. And trust and faith brings the freaking miracles. It really does. I happened to be on vacation at the same time that my divine masculines went on vacation across the country. We happened to be in the same place. And when I realized that, I was like, oh my gosh. And, I told him, hey, let me know when you want to get together, whatever. I didn't hear from him. He maybe couldn't handle dealing. He was getting out of a relationship, I think. But I had such faith and belief that if God brought us both there at the same time, like, we're going to run into each other. We're going to see each other for sure. And it was like Thursday of that week, and I'm like, this isn't going to happen. But the next Friday, my friend gets sick. We were going to go to a town to shop and stuff. She gets sick, so we couldn't do that. Her husband's like, go to the beach, just go to the beach. So I went to the beach. And I knew that his family was probably somewhere on this beach, and there's tons of houses. And I was kind of nervous, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave. I feel real nervous, like something weird's about to happen. And I hear his freaking voice in the pool right next to a different path that God had me go up to get to my car. It's like my feet started going up that different path. I'm like, oh yeah, I can go this way. And I hear his voice in the pool, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I dropped and I freaked out, and I left him a little voice message, but all the signs and things were saying text, text, text. And I got so thirsty, and I thought about texting for bottled water. And then my friend called, told me she was sick and she was going to come home. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be on the beach that day, but God brought me to the steps of his vacation house, not knowing where he was. Anyway, I could have knocked, but I was super thirsty, and I was led to say, hey, I think I just heard your voice. Can you bring me a water bottle? And I bet he would have. And we would probably be in union and have a kid by now. But I didn't do it. I felt so much fear that he would not answer to my basic human need of needing water and just leave me there on a hot beach feeling awkward, or that maybe somebody in his family would be like, no way, she stalked you here or whatever. So I was so scared of what his family would think or whatever. And of course I didn't stalk him. God did it. But I didn't think anybody in his family would believe that. So I left, and I kind of saw him on a balcony as this kid dropped the hat in slow motion. It was all slow motion. It was so weird. But I could have been like, you know what, Fear? Screw you. I'm just going to text him. Why not? What's the worst that can happen when you're already not in union? He ignores you? He's already done that. So, I should have just texted him. And then I wouldn't have the regrets. I had regrets for like 6 months after that happened. I didn't know how to express to him what happened, or, you know, he even did like a little video and he was like, no, well, so-and-so texted, almost like it was to me, like, why didn't you text? Like I didn't get the message until later because nobody texts their voice messages. Anyway, we have to have trust and faith, and that trust and faith, my trust and faith when we were both on that vacation separately, was that we were going to come into contact and a miracle was going to happen. I even posted on my Instagram, like, you know, we can forecast chance of miracles. And lo and behold, did a miracle not show up. God brought me to the door, but I didn't walk through it. And that was my bad. But try to take something from that little story, guys. If God brings you the miracle because you believe the miracle is coming for sure, you've got to believe. You've got to have trust and faith. But if he brings you to the miracle, please, please, walk through the door. Okay, no place like home. I love this. The advice for union is to know there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Every time I see this card, it reminds me of him. He's the only person who's ever really felt like home to me. The only person. I wondered forever if I'd ever feel that. And it shocked me to death, like when I did meet him and discover this, how I felt. But know that there's no place like home, that you found your true soulmate, that he will and God will bring him back to you, and that you might be asked to do some things to bring it back together. So do it. Follow your divine guidance. There's no place like home. So what is the advice here? The advice is to trust, have faith, believe, but also remember there's no place like home. In other words, your advice is not to stray, not to look at those other guys. Recently, a really cute guy has come into my life, but I know my divine masculine is my home. So that's what I need to remember. Don't stray. Don't play like there's somebody else. And focus. You've got a certain amount of time. It might be 2 weeks. It might be just a week left. It might be a month. But you've got a little bit of time here to stay off of that hamster wheel and focus on your life purpose. Focus on your relationship with your divine masculine, and maybe sharing some songs, or sending a little virtual hug, or a little text like, I hope you're well. If you're really concerned that he's not liking you, or he's not in the state yet, or he's not there, to be able to do that lovingly, and in other words, you've got to release all expectations of him doing something back. If you don't have an expectation of getting a text back and you can just send them love, that's unconditional love. Have the intention and the hope that he responds, but don't be upset if he doesn't. And don't think it's the end of the world if he doesn't. There's a lot going on right now. But one of his biggest issues is finding the courage to speak to you. So that's just where we are. But you've got to focus. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to mess around watching this Netflix show, and I'm just going to talk to all my friends and just join everybody's Zoom and everybody's workout, and not think about where you're going in this relationship and what you're doing. Where are you going with your life purpose? What are you doing? When I get onto my life purpose, I work on my main messaging and branding and my this sort of spiritual TV series that I have and stuff like that. All of everything opens up. Like something really cool happens with my divine masculine. I'm so aligned to who I truly am. When you do the work on that stuff, great things happen. So don't be surprised if you sit down to finally write that book and then he texts you or calls you. Because God's going to give you rewards with your divine masculine when you do what you need to do. So stop waiting for him and you do what you need to do. That's the key to this whole thing and coming into union, okay? So focus. Don't get distracted, okay? Trust. Ain't no place like home. All right. Thank you. Denise Lynn. Colette Baron Reed. Enduring Virtue. Thank you, angels, spirits, guides, ascended masters. Thank you, my guides, for helping us all out. Now, here's our outcome. If we follow, there's two different outcomes. If we follow this guidance, what happens? So if you're the divine masculine, you follow your advice, which your advice is speak your truth, know you're lovable. No, that's God, sorry. Your advice is get out of the deception, open your heart, and take action. And your advice, divine feminine, is to focus on you and your purpose, focus on this relationship and moving it forward, what you need to do or not do, and to know that there's no place like home, and to have trust and faith that this is coming together, whether you guys like it or not. Okay, I'm already at an hour. I didn't mean for this to happen. Okay, so the outcome is time for a nap. Okay, so whatever you do, let go of expectations and just rest and relax. Rest and relax right now. That's what the outcome is, because right now things aren't moving forward. It's not active energy. It's sort of like we're in the hibernation of winter. Take a nap. To know that you guys have known each other before. Focus on the past life relationship. Like, he knows it, you know it. The outcome, I think, is that you both are just going to really kind of get some insights and intuition about this past life relationship. I'm going to try to really forgive my divine masculine for the past. I think there's some stuff in the past that makes him scared to death of me because he screwed me over in the past. And I think I need to really forgive not just what his behavior has been towards me that hasn't been ideal in this life, but forgive our past lives. Maybe he killed me. I definitely know he left because I had a past life regression. He left for like war after I told him, like, let's run away. We were so in love. I've never felt so much love in my life when I got this dream, and then it followed up at a past life regression. I did it, and then I got another dream. So I totally believe in this life. And if you want to do a past life regression, go to Dr. Brian Weiss and try to do it remotely with that YouTube video. Okay, past life, Brian Weiss, Weiss, I think, or IESS. Excuse me. But the outcome is that the cycles and the karma of the past, of things pulling us away and us not being able to get together, those are done. Those are done, and finally you're going to be able to come together. But if there's anything that you feel like you need to forgive from the past to fully heal, I'm really being led to the past life relationship being healed so much that it takes the intensity and the pressure off him, where he feels it's lighter and free. And I think, you staying focused on you and this quarantine and not him takes that energy off of him so much, where he feels like, oh, okay, whatever heaviness of this past in the past life, it's gone. And now I feel like we can have a good relationship. It's the energy is balanced. Okay, and diligence. To me, this card means take action. Don't let this thing fall aside while you're dealing with survival and everything in quarantine. Really send him love in the 5D. Maybe contact him in the 3D. Let him know you're there. Don't just disappear, because then he'll be like, wait, where is she? And then somebody else might just slide in there, Like, be diligent. Keep planting seeds, okay? You need to both be diligent. And I think the outcome is that you both are going to be diligent. Like, the outcome of these things is that, no, you're going to keep following up and making sure this is coming together. Neither one of you are going to be able to live without the other one. You both know that. Well, so this card for the outcome means that for now, you're going to feel like it's the never-ending story, kind of like the round and round card. It just, never-ending story. It's going to feel like it's the same old stuff, and I don't really know where he's at, and he's not coming forth. If he's not coming forth, it's because he's working on things that are very important to him, which is not just consciously, but subconsciously. He needs to heal. He needs to go within. He needs to cry. He needs to stop escaping through alcohol and or drugs or TV or sports or sex or porn, or not that he's in all that. I'm just saying he's been escaping things, and he knows that to sort of clean things up in his life and clean this up, because this is one of the biggest issues that he keeps facing and it's not going away, that he has to make a shift. Otherwise, it's going to be like this. But if he doesn't find that courage, it's going to keep being like this. What I need you to do is to keep the trust. And if it's like this, don't be like, so frustrated, okay? Don't expect it to come in right now. We are in quarantine. We're in survival mode, okay? So if it feels like this right now, it's okay. This thing is never going to end. Whether you're in union or not, you're always going to have your twins. So we got to figure out a way to get you in union so that you can thrive versus just survive. So that you guys can come into mission and serve the world with your skills and talents and gifts in a way that's very unique to both of you. And it'll raise the collective consciousness of the planet, okay? So there's not going to be an ending. So if you think that you're going to say, hey, this isn't working for me, you're not contacting me, screw you, this is over. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And you probably shouldn't do that, okay? Now, some of you might need to set your boundaries and step away fully in order for him to go, wait, where is she? Where is she? But then others of you, if you do that, he's going to be like, she's not into me. This is done. And he's going to doubt, which bounces off of you because we mirror each other. So if you're in fear, he's in fear. If you're in anxiety, he's in anxiety. If you feel calm and like, hey, this is happening and I love you. Every morning and night, I want to be like, so-and-so, I love you. I'm going to send him love every morning and night. Because I've been sort of off of my diligence for sure with this relationship because of what's going on with Corona. Okay. And the outcome is that, what were we just talking about? Miracles. Miracles are going to happen. This whole coronavirus thing is a miracle because it's basically, if we never got off that hamster wheel, we wouldn't have. None of us would have. We had to be pushed off. And that's what's going to create the space for the deep contemplation and the miracles. That's what's going to create the space. And it is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. It might feel like this, just a little bit more, but then something's going to break and the miracle's going to come forth and it's going to be, wow, all this time I've been waiting. It was always worth waiting for. My Divine Masculine and I met in 2012. And then I felt like we were coming into contact in 2014. But he turned his attention to a little, what I call a little fame whore girl. A little cute little girl, you know, that she probably was like, oh, I don't really care. You know, we can have an open relationship. But then she's like talking to her friends and like naming their kids. You know what I mean? Like just this young girl that he probably thought was good on his arm and looked pretty and, you know, and I had this download when she kind of came in the picture. As soon as I saw her face and what she said, very controlling like in a comment, I had this divine download that she was almost going to destroy him and make him really depressed, and that our meeting that we were talking about having was going to be very delayed, really, really delayed. And at the time, I was ready to have that meeting like now. They dated, I guess, on and off for like 2014, 15, and it looked like they were gone in 2016, and he happened to come to me. He knew I was going to be at this charity event, and we talked, and then she showed up at like 11 p.m. with a suitcase, cock blocking the whole thing. She knew from online that I was going to be there. So, and she's like taking selfies, and he's like looking at me in the mirror in the bar, and I'm like looking at him, and it's like, what the hell is going on, right? Because he never really claimed her as his girlfriend. I don't even know what was going on. Maybe she was his assistant or whatever. But I had intuitives tell me that she was really dark energy and that she was basically siphoning our energy. Like a couple of people said this, that she was picking up on things online, you know, about me. She's very psychic and picking up on things about me and my charity and, you know, and trying to be me and like, you know, stuff between us where he might be like, oh, I love avocados because I said that to him. And then she's posting, oh, I love avocados. You know, it's like she just came up with that because of him. Anyway, and she was messing with me online. I think some intuitive said that she knew that I was for him and he was for me. So she was trying to do everything to stand in our way and keep, you know, the money coming and all that, her security. And anyway, I don't even like talking about her because it feels like so long ago, but she was doing things like I would, you know, post something and then she would post something making it look like I was ridiculous, or you know what I mean? And she kept doing it. I was like, well, this is a one-off. Like I would have like a dream of her or something where she would be like a demon, and then that like led me to go check her out online, which I really didn't do because I don't like to look into all of that. But then I realized like what she was doing to me. So it was like God was showing me that she was like attacking me online and just kind of subtly creating things where if he's checking out me or he knows about me and he sees that from her, he's like, oh yeah, like it's like she was trying to call me out on things on her own Instagram. Anyway, long story short, I've been through those situations. I've come out the other side. This twin flame thing goes in waves. Majority of the people I'm talking to are the people who are really aligned, but they're just right there. They're so close to union, they can reach out and taste it, you know. But it's still going to take a little bit of time, especially because of where we are right now. But while we're in quarantine, we're going to figure out everything and get set to make a big quantum leap forward. So don't be surprised that as soon as Trump says, hey, we're back to business, he calls and says, hey, let's go on a trip together, right? So there could be things that you could do that makes him feel more secure, because sometimes when you make your divine masculine feel loved and secure, if you haven't in a while, that gives him more confidence to move forward, okay? But the miracle is coming. I really feel like it's a divine miracle. Either he's coming to you. It's not a miracle you have to create, but that doesn't mean that you won't be led to plant seeds so that this miracle comes in quicker. Okay? So it is worth waiting for. It might always feel like a never-ending story with him, but hopefully you guys are going to come out and be able to enjoy that love of the past life and really have the miracles and the family and the children and everything that you both want to have. All right. I love you guys. I want you to stay safe. Please stay indoors. I mean, I do not like any kind of totalitarian government or anybody trying to tell me what to do. I'm all about freedom and truth. But for now, it's not hurting anything. It's just helping by us all following the social distance stuff. And use this time wisely. Don't muck around. Sorry, I'm not going to cuss, but don't F around, you know? Nurture your soul, nurture your heart, discover more of yourself, put more of yourself out there, be the leader that you are, shine like the top of the mother flippin' Chrysler building. Shine, shine, shine your light. Don't be afraid of blinding anyone. Now is when we need your light. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. And now it's like our chance to really shine and show people what we're all about. All right. If you need anything, please reach out. My email specifically for this twin flame channel and twin flame channelings is going to be right below. And I'm going to put some different specials, and I'm talking really specials because literally I'm $2.22 an hour. So this is going to be a whole lot cheaper for you to be able to come to me with your main issue for like $22. Obviously, if we're on the phone, I tap into your energy, we really get a strong reading, but I can definitely do stuff remote. I've done remote energy healing. I've helped people, I've changed people's lives with some energy healing, but that's definitely more expensive. I'm a medium. If you've lost somebody and you want to look into doing mediumship, I'm not going to put it below. It is a little more expensive. It takes a lot out of me. All of this stuff does. because we're literally channeling spirit the whole time. Like I'm pretty exhausted after this hour reading, but it's worth it. It's worth it if you can take one or two little gems from what we talked about and, create these shifts in your dynamic. And the shifts you might not see right away, but if it feels good within, it's probably the right thing for you. Okay, so listen to your body, listen to your intuition. If you can't figure it out and you need help, come to me. All right, we're going to figure this out together. Please, like, share, comment. Everybody always asks you to do this. I'm truly asking you because I don't have 10,000 followers yet. I don't care about being a super famous person. I might never show my face on this, but I want to help as many people as I can, because I actually went to a twin flame reader on here who, you guys, she's a twin flame reader. And when she did my reading, she was sort of like, yeah, I just feel like he's just not that into you. And it had nothing to do with the cards. It's like, I know based on our interactions and what he said to me, and I know that we have this strong bond, strong past life bond. I know he's my twin. The signs and synchronicities are off the charts. Like, I will probably write this into a movie at some point. I am writing a book about the dynamics so that, you guys can understand like what this really looks like, because it doesn't look like a normal relationship. If you don't have signs and synchronicities off the chisane that you're not looking for, comes out of nowhere, I don't know if you're a twin. Probably not, okay? Because they started from before we even met. I saw him out and I never felt anybody was interesting, but I was so attracted to him, and I couldn't move. When somebody walked over, I couldn't move my feet, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to be the death of me. And like, it was just such a big thing. And I'll do a video about my experience and some of the things I've experienced to kind of help you guys, because I really do think it's not just about the reading. Some of you just care about the reading, but others really want to understand the dynamic, and that's kind of what I'm here to help share some of that, because that's how you get into union, is understanding the dynamic and how this is different than a normal relationship, and that you can't really mess this up. But you also don't want to be just blowing up their phone all the time and annoying and stalker-like, you know what I mean, and creating the wrong energies. Each is different. Again, I met mine in 2012. It's now 2020. We almost came into union in 2016, which is, I think, what was supposed to happen. But that girl got in the way. I just had this vision of her saying, if you work with her, because there was a project we were talking about doing together, if you work with her, I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I think she gave him an ultimatum or something. Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like she really was the person who stood in the way. And then she kept doing stuff online and messing with me. And so he probably, even if he was aware of it, probably thought like we were going at it together. But really it was all her instigating the shit. And I had to deal with that bullshit. She was the shady one. But I think at this point he realizes she's the shady one. They're no longer together. He's actually living in a different city now, which is crazy. As soon as I moved back to LA... because I was in a different city because I was so stressed out about this whole union thing, but and other things were going on in my life. It was like everything was just being ruined to be rebuilt. But as soon as the weekend I came back to LA, he moved because he thought I wasn't here anymore. So he moved to another city. So he needs to get back in my city. I feel like he's supposed to be in LA because he is a creator and an artist, a creative artist and an actor and a, producer. And I think he chose a different path thinking, oh, it's stable, there's money, let me try this. And it maybe didn't work out the way it should. And it could be that this is like totally taken that job away from him. And now he's like, oh, I need to be in LA. But we could be very well being kept apart right now, because if he was in LA, I'd be hitting him up all the time, right? But because he's gone, it's kind of let me reground myself here, get back on my purpose and get stable. Because if I'm not stable, he can't come in. If he's not stable, I can't come in. We have to have a degree of stability to be ready to blossom together and to continue our growth, right? But we have to be at a certain level where our energies are resonating. So, if he's drinking way too much or addicted to porn, God's not going to let me come in. Okay. So we both have to be in the right energy, in the right space to come together. And it is a divine process. And I'm going to trust that even though I'm in my early 40s and I'm worried about whether I can have children, I'm trusting that God, think about, was it Sarah and Abraham, like the story of the Bible? If you're in that situation too, forget about your age. If you're a divine being, God creates miracles. God is keeping my babies. So I know it. I know it. I have full belief that as soon as me and my divine masculine come together, we're probably going to get pregnant. And I'm totally okay. I'm not going to put, well, we need to date for a certain amount of time and then get married. And I don't care. What's right will be right. Let's just both get out of our own way and do everything we can to bring this union in quicker. All right? At least on time. Right? So we have to do everything that we can do, whether it's start that new job, get that stability for yourself going, learn how to cook because he's going to want somebody who can also take care of the house, get yourself grounded enough where you can be a wife and a mother. Do what you can. All right. Much love to all you twin flames out there. All you lovers, stay in the love and the light. Remember that if you want to reach out, that's what I pulled. It might just be the time to say, hey, just worried about you, want to see what you're doing. Oh, I was going to show you. Oh, excuse me. This is cool, huh? Today is our greatest adventure. Okay, so real quick, guys, this is the bottom of the deck. Blessings. Yes, that's what we are in here. It doesn't always feel like a blessing, but it is. It's a blessing in disguise, even when it feels rotten, this darn twin flame thing. We are so blessed. We are so intensely blessed because we know, I'm blessed because I know about unconditional love. I sure do. And our new love is coming. We both know that we have romantic feelings for each other, so it is coming, this new love. And if it's not your twin or that's a false twin you're dealing with, hey, you better keep observing and figure this out, because if I truly believe that if he's not choosing you and you don't deserve that, God's going to take that twin flame soul and put it in somebody else. So it might just be that you have a new love coming. Okay? But if he really wants you, he's going to realize, and God's going to show him that this is a blessing and you are his blessing. And all he has to do is actually come out from that observer standpoint when it's divine timing and take action on this new love so that he can have all the blessings. All right, 122:44, as I just said that. Much love, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful quarantine. And just contact me with whatever you need. All right, bye-bye.